live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble. Good afternoon, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Xander. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly, and you viewer, of course, are you. Thank you so much for coming in and watching. Today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, February 14th, 2026. Welcome!
Thank you, Golden Loon here, and this day and present, happy birthday!
Yeah, thank you, 39. And you had your birthday, not too long ago.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we try to forget about those.
Well, it wouldn't be too hard for you now.
Thanks.
I gotta give you shit, you know? So,
you shovel it quite well.
yeah, I learned from the best. Anyway, the show's about interesting and important events that happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with in the year 748, during the Abbasid Revolution, the Hashimi rebels under Abu Muslim Khorasani took Merv, the capital of the Umayyad province of Khorasan, marking the consolidation of the Abbasid revolt. All right. 842, Charles II and Louis the German signed the Oath of Strasbourg, a pact uniting their armies in the fight against their older brother, Lothar. All right. And it says here from the other source, Charles the Bald, so Charles II, also known as Charles the Bald, and Louis the German swore the Oath of Strasbourg in the French and German languages. So they are serious. They're doing it bilingually. 1076, Pope Gregory VII excommunicated Holy Roman Emperor IV for the first time. So he did it several times. Make up your mind, man. Now, this one raised an eyebrow here. 1130, Jewish Cardinal Pietro Pierre Leon was elected as anti-pope Nicholas II. So it sounds like the anti-pope is a Jewish thing, and they're doing it to spit in the eye of Christianity.
Well, Jewish and cardinal doesn't quite work, so yeah. Something's wrong there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it says here the troubled 1130 papal election exposed a rift within the College of Cardinals. So maybe you're onto something. 3049, the Black Death Massacre. 900 Jews were burned alive in Strasbourg, and a similar number were banned and removed from the city after being blamed for the spread of the Black Death, part of a wave of pogroms across Western Europe. And see, here's the thing, from what's things I've researched involving this and things people have told me, on multiple occasions they saw Jewish people poisoning water sources, and then all of a sudden the Black Death is killing people left and right, and it's multiple accounts, and when it turns from 1 to 2 to 3 to 100, they can't all be lies. There has to be some truth somewhere in there. It's, not every ass kicking falls out of the sky. Why do the Jews keep getting their teeth kicked in? I think that they caused something. But then we can't say anything about it. Otherwise, we're anti-Semitic.
Well, you're projecting there.
Well, there's history here. There's something that keeps happening to them, but they're all we do is see the second hit. The victims defending themselves. But who's the bully?
They are recognized as the persecuted faith. I'll give you that.
But why?
Well,
that
after that we start projection. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, you're right. It says the other source though says several thousand Jews were burned to death as opposed to 900. So, 1530, Spanish conquistadors led by Nuno de Guzman overthrew and executed Tangazan II, the last independent monarch of the Tarascan state in present-day central Mexico. So Mayan, Inca, Aztec, one of those guys. 1556, Akbar, at age 13, was crowned the third Mughal emperor, succeeding his late father Humayun at Kuala in the Punjab. Why is somebody blaring their horn out there?
I don't know.
Okay. Akbar. Admiral Akbar is a trap? Star Wars?
Oh.
1556, English Archbishop Thomas Cranmer was declared a heretic, and after being declared a heretic and laicized by Pope Paul IV on December 4th, 1555, I swear to God, this horn, I'm going to go crazy. Archbishop of Canterbury Thomas Cranmer was publicly defrocked at Christ Church Cathedral. I think I know what defrocked means, but I'm going to look it up just to ensure. I think it just means
excommunicated type thing.
Yeah, defrocking, unfrocking, degradation, or laicization of clergy is a removal of their rights to exercise the functions of the ordained ministry. Okay, It was what I was thinking of. 1615, Peruvian nobleman Felipe Guaman Palma de Ayala wrote to wrote to author Spanish King Philip III his newly completed Chronicle of Andean History and Spanish Rule, now the only indigenous Andean viewpoint to survive, currently located in the Danish National Library. Wow. Guard that with your lives, Danes. 1670, Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I chased Jews out of Vienna. Here we go again.
Yeah.
You know? Why? And did he do it personally? Like I'm just imagining the Emperor, get out of here, go!
No,
You know?
no, obviously.
I mean,
Not.
I'm just trying to make light of a bad situation.
Yeah, true.
1743, Henry Pelham became Britain's first Lord of Treasury. And 1747, astronomer James Bradley presented a discovery of the wobbling motion of the Earth on its axis to the Royal Society in London. And that's why we have seasons and everything. Why the sun moves. The sun's not moving. You know, we're spinning, but we're not always spinning like this. We're spinning like this, and then we move, you know, and so, yeah.
We do turn on an axis, but it does at different angles.
Yeah. 1778, Stars and Stripes arrived at a foreign port for the first time, specifically France. The United States flag was formally recognized by a foreign naval vessel for the first time when French Admiral Toussaint Piquet de la Motte rendered a 9-gun salute to the USS Ranger, commanded by John Paul Jones.
Yeah. John Paul Jones.
Yep.
He's everywhere in history. So.
Oh, yeah. James Cook in 1779 was killed by native Hawaiians near Kealakekua on the island of Hawaii.
What the hell did he do to get killed?
I know, we've spoken about this, like...
A while back, wasn't it?
Yeah. But Hawaiians who are, stereotypically known for being peaceful people...
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to do to piss them off to the point where they kill you? Good Lord. 1794, the first U.S. textile machinery patent was granted to James Davenport in Philadelphia. And actually, I forgot about the pictures. So here's all those Jews burning and all that stuff. This is the Mesoamerican, being conquered, that last king.
Yeah.
And what was this?
You are a ways back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
some kind of book.
Have we gotten there yet?
Probably. No. Yeah, we have. I'm not sure what it is though, but. This is the first U.S. textile machinery. I know
that's
that.
Where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I just remember, like, wait a minute, I have photos here to display. 1790, we got that one. 1797, Battle of Cape St. Vincent. British fleet under Admiral Sir John Jervis defeated larger Spanish fleet under Admiral Don Jose de Cordoba y Ramos near Cape St. Vincent, Portugal. Captain Horatio Nelson distinguished himself. Here we go, Horatio Nelson again.
Yeah.
Same guy? No, the first guy was John Paul Jones. No, okay, this is some other guy. No, and I think this is a picture of that battle. No. Yep.
I guess.
1803, apple parer patented Mimosas Coates, Dowington, Pennsylvania. And this is it here. It says...
What is it?
A machine for paring apples has lately been invented by Mr. Moses Coates of Chester County, which, on account of its simplicity and the expedition with which it works, will no doubt come into general use. The following cut will give an accurate idea of this instrument. The apple is fixed on the 3-pronged fork, as exhibited by A. I'm trying to find... Oh, I see. And it's turned by the handle, B, okay, to the block, C, okay, so it's basically just, going
it's
on.
Pears, right? Not apples.
No, it's apple paring.
Oh,
so
apple paring.
So I think it's cutting an apple in half or something.
Yeah.
It's apple parer, P-A-R-E-R, parer.
Paring, yeah. Right.
Yeah, like a paring knife.
Yeah.
1803, Chief Justice John Marshall declared that any act of U.S. Congress that conflicts with the Constitution is void. That makes sense.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah.
But important.
Yeah.
To have that.
Yep. 1804, Jean-Victor Marie Moreau, French general who plotted to overthrow Napoleon in the Pitchcrew conspiracy, was arrested and exiled to the United States. And that tells us what they thought of us back then.
Well, they did send the ones they didn't want over here,
Yeah.
for sure. And then they did it in Australia, too.
Well, no, British did it to Australia. This is French.
That's right. Okay, yeah, you're right.
1835, the original quorum of the 12 apostles in the Latter-day Saint movement was formed in Kirtland, Ohio. In 1844, John C. Fremont and his party became the first Europeans to discover Lake Tahoe during a second expedition through the American West.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's quite a find.
Yeah, and that's not over here, right? It's Lake Tahoe's out here?
Northern California, yeah.
Okay. 1849, in New York City, James K. Polk, became the first serving U.S. president to have his photograph taken, with the photographer being Matthew Brady.
How about that?
Yeah, and here's the photo right there. So it looks like a painting, but I think that's an actual photograph. Yeah, so sepia tone and all that stuff.
Wonder how long it took. They
Yeah.
took the deal off, exposed it.
Yeah, you need to sit there for a minute, literally. 1852, Great Ormond Saint Hospital for Sick Children, the first hospital in England to provide inpatient beds specifically for children, was founded in London. That's tragic, but really cool.
Yeah.
Just a small picture, so I'm not sure if you can see like the little beds and everything, but yeah. 1855, Texas was linked by telegraph to the rest of the United States with the completion of the connection between New Orleans and Marshall, Texas. All right. 1859, Oregon was admitted as the 33rd state of the Union. 1862, Galena, the first ironclad warship for service at sea, was launched in Connecticut. Here's a photo of her. Can't really see it that well, but it's all iron. They still have portside cannons and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But this was... 1862. So this was just before, like the USS Monitor and all that, like the ironclad warships from the Confederacy. So, and we had the one with the turret. So, 1867, Hartford Steam Boiler Inspection Insurance Company issued their first policy. Okay. 1870, Esther Morris was appointed the U.S.'s first female in Justice of the Peace in South Pass City, Wyoming, after previous Justice R.S. Barr resigned to protest the passage of Wyoming Territory's women's suffrage amendment in 1869. Oh, that is hilarious. Basically, he was against giving women the right to vote, so not only were they going to get the right to vote, but he was replaced by a woman.
Yeah.
Up yours,
so
you
I
chauvinistic
that was
bastard.
The state Supreme Court in Wyoming? Is that what it was? Or they don't really say, do they?
Well, no, this was not even when it was a state. This was Wyoming Territory.
Okay. Well, the Supreme Court, I would say, the highest court, whatever that was at the time. I think that's what she was appointed to.
First female justice, or no, the first female in Justice of the Peace in South Pass City, Wyoming. So she's not a Supreme Court, but she's something involving the law for a small town.
Yeah.
They're giving a woman a position of authority, but it sounds like in a small bodunk town. But regardless, they're giving her some power. They're trying it out.
Everything in Wyoming in the 1800s was small podunk.
Yeah.
So could have been the biggest city of the territory at the time. Who knows?
But speaking of women's suffrage, on that same year, actually, 1870, Sarah Young became the first woman to legally vote in the modern United States, 2 days after the Utah legislature passed a law allowing women the right to vote.
Hoorah.
All right. And it wasn't until 1920 before it became national.
Yeah.
1872, the first U.S. state bird refuge was authorized, Lake Merritt in California. How very California. 1876, Alexander Graham Bell and Elijah Gray applied separately for telephone patents. The Supreme Court eventually ruled Bell the rightful inventor. All right. 1876 as well, Henry John Hines founded F&J Hines with his brother John Hines and cousin Frederick Hines.
Good Lord.
I wonder what company they made.
Heinz Ketchup.
I only said the name 57 times.
I know.
1883, the first state labor union legislation, New Jersey legalized unions. 1889, the first trainload of fruit, being oranges, left L.A. for the east. Orange County, maybe. Yeah. I wonder if that's where they came. Has to have been.
Yeah.
1894, Venus was both a morning star and an evening star. That's pretty interesting. 1896, Theodor Herzl's Der Judestaat, the Jewish state, was published, proposing a Jewish homeland as a means of escaping anti-Semitism in Europe. And this is what I was asking earlier. Why do keep people hating on the Jews? At some point, they're not always the victims. That's statistically impossible. At some point, they have to have pissed somebody off, and they're getting, they're reaping what they sow. But, they're the Jews, So, 1889, U.S. Congress began using voting machines. Voting machines were approved by the U.S. Congress for use in federal elections. All right. 1900, Russia responded to international pressure to free Finland by tightening imperial control over the country. Okay. 1903, President Theodore Roosevelt signed a bill into law establishing the U.S. Department of Commerce and Labor. That's just what we need, more government.
Yeah.
Oh. 1907, the first U.S. Foxhound Association formed in New York City. What is a Foxhound Association?
I have no idea.
Let's look this up here really quick. Foxhound Association. Masters of Foxhounds Associated. So I guess a type of dog. For hunting. Maybe hunting. So,
does that say foxhound?
Foxhound, one word.
Okay, that is a dog, yes.
Okay. 1912, Arizona was admitted to the Union as the 48th state. All right, and the last contiguous U.S. state.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know they were the last one.
Well, they had to have been because then it was Hawaii and then Alaska.
Yeah, but
and they're not on the continent.
I didn't know they were the last on the continental.
Yeah, they have to have been, yeah.
Why do they have to be?
48, 49, 50.
Now, I just learned it, yes. Yeah. You say 48, I knew it.
Yeah.
So until then, I didn't know it.
Well, I didn't know it either, but I said 48. It's part of the article here. I read it.
Yeah. That's why I said, holy cow, they're the last one.
Yeah, they are. 1918, USSR, Soviet Russia adopt new style, Gregorian calendar. Originally, this day would have been February 1st. So, man, I age rapidly in the Soviets. 1920, 1919, United Parcel Service formed. Is that UPS, like Brown? What can Brown do for you? Like that company, or?
UPS, yeah. It goes back that far?
Apparently. 1919, United Parcel Service.
That's it.
Because it's not the United Postal Service.
No.
No, that's the mail.
Yeah, that's the mail.
1920, League of Women Voters formed in Chicago. All right. That's nice. 1921, fictional character Ski Zeeks was discovered on the Wallet family's doorstep in Frank King's cartoon strip Gasoline Alley. So there was a Wallet family. 21 as well, Little Review faced obscenity charges for publishing Ulysses in New York. Yeah, that was a controversial book for the time, apparently. 24, Thomas J. Watson Sr. renamed the Computing Tabulating Recording Company, CTR, as International Business Machines, also known as IBM.
Ah.
Yeah. 1925, state of emergency crisis in Bavaria ends with NSDAP re-allowed. So they re-allowed the Nazis. Stupid. 1929, St. Valentine's Day Massacre in Chicago. 7 gangsters were killed, allegedly on Al Capone's orders, because of the 6 of the 7 were rivals of Al Capone's gang.
Yeah.
You know, so a little suspicious there. 31, the original Dracula film starring Bela Lugosi as the titular vampire was released.
That's the oldie. I've seen that one.
Bleh. 1932, the George Burns and Gracie Allen show debuted on CBS Radio, airing there until 1937, moving to NBC until 1949, then returning to CBS in 1949 before coming to television. That's a hell of a history there.
Yeah. I remember Burns and Allen show.
Yeah. 1936, National Negro Congress organized in Chicago. And 1939, World War II, German battleship Bismarck was launched. And that is our final photo that I gathered for today. That's the Bismarck, yep. But those are the bad guys. So, yeah, we don't want to celebrate that. 1941, German Africa Corps landed in Tripoli, Libya. And we have the 1 millionth vehicle traverse the New York Midtown Tunnel. Wow. So between opening, to now, that's the 1 millionth vehicle.
1 million, went through.
I wonder if they got, a bumper sticker or something. I was the 1 million through this tunnel, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. 1942, the Polish resistance movement, the Home Army, was formed and will eventually become the largest resistance movement in occupied Europe. All rise. Fight the power. 1945, Peru, Paraguay, Chile, and Ecuador joined the United Nations. And while that was going on, the second day of the bombing of Dresden by Allied forces, the British Royal Air Force and the United States Army Air Force began firebombing Dresden. So, we spoke about this yesterday. It would eventually kill 22,000 people.
1945. What? I thought the United Nations formed in 46 or 7, after World War II.
You're right. Hold on a second. You know what? Hold on a second. Because the League of Nations was around.
Yes. Oh, that was first.
Yes.
UN.
United Nations start dates. Let's look into this. Oh, taking up the Okay, the history of the United Nations has its origins in World War II, beginning with the Declaration of St. James's Palace. Taking up the Williamson mantle in 1944-45, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt published as his highest post-war priority the establishment of the United Nations. But post-war. So...
Well, it sounds like they were established in 44-45.
Well, maybe this
really
was...
then...
Maybe they weren't official yet, but they were initial signatories.
Formed. Yeah, it was formed.
Yeah. And it's formed out of the failure of the League of Nations, but at one point the League of Nations and the United Nations were both alive at the same time.
Yes, they were.
They're just moving, so... 1945 as well, World War II, Prague was bombed, probably due to a mistake in the orientation of the pilots bombing Dresden. A navigational error led to the mistaken bombing of Prague and Czechoslovakia by a U.S. Army Air Force squadron of B-17s assisting in the Soviet Red Army's Vistula Oder offensive.
Wow.
Yeah. U.S.-Saudi Arabian diplomatic relations officially began when President Franklin D. Roosevelt met with King Ibn Saud of Saudi Arabia aboard the USS Quincy. Okay. 46. ENIAC, the first computer, was announced to the public by John Malsheny and J. Presper Eckert. All right. 46. The Bank of England was nationalized. 47. The act abolishing all noble ranks and related styles came into force in Hungary. All right. 49. The first session of the Knesset in Jerusalem in Israel. The Parliament of Israel, a.k.a. the Knesset, convened for the first time. Yeah. And Dutch Dries government presented a plan for building of 30,000 houses. So quite a lot of structures there. 49 as well, the Quiet Revolution in Quebec began when the asbestos strike started in Canada. Never heard of either of those. But, I guess that's why they call it the Quiet Strike. 1952, the 6th Winter Olympic Games opened in Oslo in Norway. And 1956, I'm just going to see if I have any comments here. It doesn't look like it. 1956, Indonesia withdrew from the Netherlands-Indonesian Union. All right. 57, Georgia Senate unanimously approves Senator Leon Boots's bill barring blacks from baseball with whites. No, I don't agree with that. Georgia was a segregationalist state, it sounds like. That is disgusting. 1957, Southern Christian Leadership Conference organized in New Orleans with Martin Luther King Jr. as its president. Okay. 58, Arab Federation of Iraq and Jordan formed. And 59, $3.6 million of heroin were seized in New York City. Wow. That is quite a lot. Moving on up to 1960s, 1961, Element 103, Lawrencium was first produced in Berkeley, California by bombarding a 3 milligram target of 3 isotopes of californium with boron-10 and boron-11 nuclei from the heavy ion linear accelerator. Okay. You scienticians and your madness. 1962, U.S. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy conducted a White House tour on TV. That sounds pretty cool. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
It's like MTV Cribs. So
I probably did see it. I don't remember it, but...
Probably. 1966, Australian currency was decimalized and decimal currency postage stamps were introduced. 66, Russian writers Andrei Sinyavsky and Joy Daniel were found guilty under the offense of anti-Soviet agitation and propaganda for publishing their satirical writings abroad. 1966, Wilt Chamberlain broke NBA career scoring record of 20,884 points.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, way to go, Wilt.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
67, Aretha Franklin recorded her single R-E-S-P-E-C-T at Atlantic Studios in New York City. Her rendition of Otis Redding's tune became Billboard Song of the Year, 1967. So it wasn't her actual original song. She was her cover.
Yeah, we sure know through her, though.
Yeah. 1967 as well, Latin America nuclear free zone proposal was drawn up. That's concerning, but yeah, we need nuclear free zones. So... 1971, movie Ben-Hur was first shown on television.
Oh, yeah. Oh, on television.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's Ben-Hur? I've heard of it, but...
It's a movie about Egypt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 huge stars. They were married, divorced, married, divorced, married, divorced. Taylor, what's her name? Something?
Loeffner?
Elizabeth Taylor, and can't think of his name.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a movie that I'd like to see.
Yeah.
1971, President Richard Nixon installed a secret recording system in the White House. That's not too intelligent of him.
No, that busted him.
75, right-wing radicals plan a bomb at Amsterdam's under-construction Wenspoller metro station, hoping to turn public sentiment against those protesting the building of the subway system. And it exploded at the annex of Amsterdam metro system. Primary source was edited. So initially they said it exploded, and now in the edit it says they just planted the bomb. So I'm wondering, see, this is what I'm talking about. Are they actively trying to rewrite history, because they give no indication that it went off, whereas the initial, it said it explodes.
Yeah.
So, to what end, what agenda are they trying to do? What are they doing here?
And who planned it?
Yeah. 1978, first micro on a chip, or microchip, was patented by Texas Instruments, the calculator people.
Yeah.
79, in Kabul, Muslims kidnapped the U.S. ambassador to Afghanistan, Adolf Dubs, who was later killed during a gunfight between his kidnappers and police. Rest in peace. 82, the Night of 100 Stars, an all-star variety special celebrating the centennial of the Actors Fund of America, took place at New York City's Radio City Music Hall. I don't know, that sounds a little self-serving and pompous right there. 82, the 24th Daytona 500, Bobby Allison won with a margin of victory over Cale Yarbrough, an impressive 23 seconds, more than half a lap. Wow.
What 23 seconds?
He crossed the finish line, then 23 seconds later. Wow.
That's half a lap, though? 23 seconds?
Well, this is a Daytona 500. Yeah. They're driving.
I know.
Really fast.
Both of those great drivers.
Yeah, but still, 23 seconds, that is gargantuan.
Yeah.
And I thought, the 9-second split, from that skiing thing from yesterday,
oh, yeah.
I thought that was significant. But this, you're driving a car at 200 miles an hour, and you have some guy with a 23-second lead?
Yeah.
Are you stupid? Wow. 1983, United American Bank of Knoxville, Tennessee collapsed. Its president, Jake Butcher, was later convicted of fraud. Well, good, they caught him. 1984, Britain's Jane Torval and Christopher Dean famously dominated ice dancing at the Sarajevo Winter Olympics, performing to Maurice Ravel's Bolero in their free dance routine, recording a 9 of 9 perfect scores for artistic impression. Congratulations. This picture looks weird of her. Is it just me, or does it look it looks like she's all distorted or something?
No, she's just on one skate, the other leg is up in the air. That's a typical ice skating move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does look weird until you focus in on it.
Yeah. 88, 30th Daytona 500, Bobby Allison beat his son, Davey, to the finish line, remembered for Richard Petty's rollover crash in the tri-oval on lap 106.
Killed him.
Rolled over 8 times and hit by Brett Bodine, walked away unhurt.
Oh, no, then that isn't what I'm thinking of. He had a minor accident that killed him.
Yeah. 89, the African National Congress, ANC, opened office in Amsterdam. All right. 89 as well, Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini, issued a fatwa calling for the death of Salman Rushdie and his publishers due to his novel Satanic Verses. A bounty was also placed on his head. We've been speaking about this book, the Satanic Verses, a couple of times
now.
now.
Whole deal.
Yeah, 1989. Do you want to tell us about it? If there's anything?
No, I don't remember that much about it. I just remember the incident. Whatever he wrote about the Muslims, they didn't like, and they put a bounty on his head, so to speak.
Okay.
A fatwa to kill somebody.
Okay.
That's great religious people.
Yeah, well, coming from the religion that calls itself the religion of peace, 1989, the first of 24 satellites of the Global Positioning System were placed in orbit. All right. That's cool. So GPS starting. 1989 on this date. Awesome. 89 as well, Union Carbide agreed to pay $470 million damages for a Bhopal disaster.
For a what disaster?
Bhopal. B-H-O-P-O-L. Bhopal.
I don't know.
The 1984 Bhopal disaster. To the Indian government. $470 million in damages. Let's look this up here. See here. Ooh, this looks ominous. On December 3rd, 1984, over 500,000 people in the vicinity of the Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India, were exposed to the highly toxic gas methyl isoconate in what is considered the world's worst industrial disaster. A government affidavit in 2006 stated that the leak caused approximately 558,125 injuries, including 38,478 temporary partial injuries and 3,900 severely and permanently disabled injuries. Estimates vary on the death toll, with the official number of immediate deaths being 2,259. Others estimate that 8,000 died within 2 weeks of the incident occurring, and another 8,000 or more died from gas-related disease. So that, wow.
Good grief.
Wow. Yikes. Moving on up, 1989 as well, the world's first satellite Skyphone opened. Okay. 1990, Perrier recalled 160 million bottles of sparkling water after traces of benzene, a carcinogen, were found in some bottles of water. So, wow. 1990 as well, Space Probe Voyager 1 took a photograph of the entire solar system. The images were transmitted in real time with Earth, a pale blue dot. I gotta look at the picture of this. This is, let's see here. Please have an image. Come on.
Gotta have an image.
Yeah. Oh, like multiple images here, but oh, there we are. See that little pixel?
Yeah.
That's us. Hello. Moving on up, 1991, The Silence of the Lambs, film based on the book by Thomas Harris, directed by Jonathan Demme, and starring Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, was released. Best Picture of 1992. Fava beans.
Yeah.
Yep. 1992, comedy film Wayne's World, starring Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, based on their Saturday Night Live sketch, premiered. Yeah.
Yep.
1996, Live by Request, debuted on A&E Network. Based on singer Tony Bennett's idea, the set list was determined by viewer phone calls. Bennett starred in the first episode, winning an Emmy Award, individual performance in a variety or music program. That sounds pretty interesting, you know? Like an audience interaction type show. Like, hey, tell me what to do, you know? Kind of like a turn-based, oh, well, I just had it. What was the class I took in college? The acting class?
Oh,
improv.
There you go.
It's like a turn-based improv situation.
Yeah.
1998, an oil tanker train collided with a freight train in Yaoundé, Cameroon, spilling fuel oil. Later, a person scavenging the said oil created a massive explosion, causing the deaths of 120 people. Good Lord. In the year 2000, the spacecraft near Schumacher entered the orbit around asteroid 433 Eros, the first spacecraft to orbit an asteroid. All right. Doing that at the turn of the millennium. That's wild. 2003, during the Iraq disarmament crisis, UN MOVIC Executive Chairman Hans Bleeks reported to the United Nations Security Council that disarmament inspectors have found no weapons of mass destruction in Ba'athist Iraq. Well, you can actually, hold on a second. Let's see if I can find, because there's this one video I've been wanting to show you. George Bush slip up Iraq.
With what?
Slip up. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. I wonder if this is
in contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Ukraine. Iraq. Anyway.
Yeah, see, he just confirmed it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, all the WMD crap. It was all stupid.
But that was Dick Cheney as vice president pushed a lot of that crap.
Yeah, well,
big time.
Yeah, well, at least he lives up to his name. He's a real dick. 2004, roof of the Transvaal water park in Moscow collapsed, killing more than 25 people and injuring over 100 others. Wow. And the other source says 28 people. At least 28 people. So we have more than 25, at least 28. So 2005, 2005, Lebanon's former Prime Minister Rafik Hariri was assassinated, prompting the country to fall into chaos. And in Beirut, 23 people, including former Prime Minister Rafik Hariri, were murdered when the equivalent of around 1,000 kilograms of TNT was detonated while Hariri's motorcade drove through the city. So he got bombed. Wow. 2005, online video sharing site YouTube.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah. It's founded in San Mateo, California by Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jawed Karim. YouTube was launched by a group of college students, eventually becoming the largest video sharing website in the world and the main source for viral videos until Rumble, as an example of a competitor. 2010, Alexandre Baudelaire won the gold medal in the freestyle skiing men's moguls events, becoming the first Canadian to win gold during an Olympic Games hosted in Canada. All right. 2011, Bahraini uprising began in Bahrain, calling for greater political freedom and equality for the Shia population, and later an end to the monarchy. As part of the Arab Spring, the Bahraini uprising began with a day of rage, because nothing says, a religion of love than a day of rage. Am I right? Huh? Let's go behead and stone some infidels, huh? 2013, Oscar Pistorius, a South African amputee sprinter, was charged with the murder of Ravia Steenkamp. 2013, the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the world's largest and highest energy particle accelerator, will be switched off for 2 years for upgrading. Okay. 2018, U.S. snowboarder Shaun White won an unprecedented third Olympic half-pipe gold medal, previous in 2006 and 2010, at the Pyeongchang Winter Games. Congratulations to you. Is this guy the same guy? Yeah, that's him. That's the dude right there.
There you go.
2019, Amazon canceled plans to build a corporate campus in Long Island, Queens, New York, after widespread opposition. Yeah, nobody wants your ass, Amazon. 2019,
a lot of jobs they didn't get in an area that needed them.
What do you mean a lot of jobs that they didn't get? That they would just replace with robots anyway? Amazon ain't doing shit. They're not giving anybody any jobs. 2019, JP Morgan is the first bank to create its own cryptocurrency, JPM Coin. 2020, more than 800,000 people were displaced from their homes in northwestern Syria amid assault by Syrian pro-government forces on last rebel stronghold. 2021, the 63rd Daytona 500, Michael McDowell navigated through fiery final lap pileup to claim his first career NASCAR Cup Series win in his 14th season. Race delayed by rain for 6 hours after a huge lap 14 crash. Wow. 2021, at least 60 people were killed and hundreds missing after a boat capsized on the Congo River carrying 700 people in Western Democratic Republic of the Congo. 2021 as well, Guinea declared an Ebola epidemic after 3 deaths, its first death since 2016. That doesn't sound like many, but it can get out of hand really quick. So you got to get on top of it. 2022, the mega drought affecting the American Southwest. Hey, it's us.
Yes.
Is now considered the worst for 1,200 years, 1,200 years, according to scientists. Hey, we're record breakers! Woo! Worse than 1,000 years!
Not something we want. The drought here has been going on for years.
Hey, that just means that we're very hardy people, 2023, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley announced she was running for U.S. President, the first to challenge Donald Trump for the Republican Party nomination.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she won.
No.
2023 as well, rapper and musician Pharrell Williams was appointed menswear designer for Louis Vuitton. That is a very interesting combination. A rapper being a clothing designer for Louis Vuitton? What?
Yeah.
2004, Israel launched airstrikes in Lebanon in an escalation of conflict along the border, killing 4 in a retaliation after a Hezbollah rocket was killed an Israeli soldier in Safed. You'd think for a people that constantly get their teeth kicked in, they would learn not to treat people in the same way.
Yeah.
Lest, all you're doing is just being as bad as the people that you claim were wronging you. And this is why I have my viewpoints. 2024, Korean scientists said they have created meaty rice with beef grown inside rice grains in a lab, adding 8% more protein. What? We're growing beef in rice now. I guess that makes as much sense as teaching, what was it, spinach? What was it, spinach? It was spinach, I think, right? To remember the
No, I don't.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Spinach to you know what? Hold on. I can just look it up on here really quick. Pull this up. Spinach. let's see if here we go. MIT engineers announced they have engineered spinach plants to detect explosive materials in groundwater and send an email alert via connected system.
Oh, yeah, that's.
How? What is happening? 2024 Korean side, we got that one. 2024 as well. Technology and AI company Nvidia's market capitalization reached $1.83 trillion, overtaking Google / Alphabet and Amazon. 2025, U.S. jazz saxophonist Marshall Allen of the Sun Ra Orchestra released New Dawn, his debut album as a solo artist, recorded shortly after his 100th birthday.
Whoa.
Holy mother of everything, amazing, dude. This guy just got all respect I could possibly give to somebody and more.
Yeah.
You know, that is amazing. Pope Francis was admitted to a hospital in Rome with a respiratory tract infection that later developed into pneumonia. You know, you'd think God would watch over him, but apparently not.
Hey, when it's your time, it's your time.
2025, the U.S. Justice Department formally moved to dismiss corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams, but not until 7 experienced department prosecutors quit rather than obey what they consider an ill-advised directive. Stupid. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may be interested in, including what I limited to do all things on the Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion of what we found on 2 sources. I mean, you saw all the stuff we just scrolled over on this throughout the show. You know, it is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside of what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own and find a better way to be better to one another. Please check the underbar for your dose of past events daily. We stream every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU, thank you so much for coming in and watching it. And until next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection.